Hello everybody and welcome to my top 10 anime of 2011. For 2010 I did a top 5, but now that I have more time to prepare, I put together a list of my top 10. Same rules as last year, the anime had to come out in 2011 and I have to like it obviously. Also, I will be giving it a rating out of 10 based off of animation, action or comedy, because most anime mostly have one or the other, story and overall. So, without further ado, here is my top 10 anime of 2011. Before we get started, I want to bring up an honorable mention that did not quite make it onto my list, Ben To. The story is that one day the main character, Sato, is going shopping and finds out that getting half-price food is an all-out brawl, and he ends up getting mixed up in the whole thing. I did like this anime. It had lots of action and comedy, but I think it could have been a little bit more creative with its plot. Animation 7 out of 10, action 8 out of 10, story 7 out of 10, and overall a 7 out of 10. Number 10, Astarotte's Toy. The story takes place in a medieval fantasy world where the succubus princess Astarotte is told by her followers that being a succubus she needs to find a man. However, she has a great dislike for men and only agrees if the man is human, since in this world humans are impossible to find. However, her followers are somehow able to find a human male named Noya, who along with his daughter Asha is brought to the demon world to help Astarotte. The reason I put this on my list is because it's a good fantasy romance with comedy and a really nice emotional plot. Animation 7 out of 10, comedy 8 out of 10, story 8 out of 10, overall, guess what, 8 out of 10. Number 9, Dream Eater Merry. So, Yumekui, the main protagonist, is a normal student other than the fact that he has the power to see the aura of other people's dreams and is able to predict what kind of dream they will have next. So one day, when walking home from school, he meets a girl named Mary, who is a dream demon and is searching for a way back to go to the dream world. The studio who was in charge of this anime was JC Staff, and I really like a lot of the anime that they did. They also did Index, AnoHana, Toradora, and a couple other anime I like. But anyway, this was an interesting action fantasy anime, and I especially like how they went from the dream world to the real world. Animation is an 8 out of 10, action 8 out of 10, story 8 out of 10, and overall 8 out of 10. Yeah, big surprise. Number 8, The World God Only Knows Season 2. So Keima is a second-year high school student that is very good at a genre of games where the goal is to make a girl fall in love with the player. However, in his actual school life, he is just a nerd. One day, he receives an email offering him a contract to conquer girls, and he accepts it thinking that it is an invitation to a game, but then a demon from hell named Elise appears asking for his help to capture spirits which hide themselves in the hearts of girls, and the only way to get them out is by conquering the girls' hearts, or in other words, making them fall in love with him. However, Keima is only interested in girls from video games and refuses, but he already made a contract and has to help. Despite its plot, it's more of a comedy, but it does have a really good and emotional plot. I did like Season 1 slightly more, but it's still a good season. Animation 7 out of 10, comedy 8 out of 10, story 8 out of 10, overall 8 out of 10. Number 7, we still don't know the name of the flower we saw that day. Yeah, I know it's a long title, which is why it's also known as AnoHana for short, which is an abbreviation of the Japanese name. But anyway, so the story is a group of 6 childhood friends drift apart after one of them, Menma, dies in an accident. 10 years after the incident, the leader of the group, Jinta, starts seeing the ghost of Menma, who appears before him and asks to have her wish granted, so she can pass on to the afterlife. But she does not remember what her wish is. So Jinta gathers his old friends to try to help Menma pass on. Probably one of the more tragic, emotional anime on the list, and I really like it. Animation 7 out of 10, story 9 out of 10, and overall 8 out of 10. Number 6, Bleach Gotei 13 Invading Army Arc. This is the 15th season of Bleach. The story is that people are reported missing in the Dangai, which is the world connecting the real world and the Soul Society. So when Ichigo goes to check it out, he gets arrested as a material witness, and it's up to him to break out and try to figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, back in the real world, some guy from the Soul Society named Kage Rosa tries to capture this girl named Nozomi, and he's also trying to make evil clones of the Soul Reapers. I put this on my list because even though it is a filler arc, meaning it has no connection to the main plot, it is still very good. I especially like the plot twists, which can be a bad thing, but this does it really well. Animation 8 out of 10, action 9 out of 10, story 8 out of 10, and overall 8 out of 10. Number 5, Future Diary. The story starts off with the main character, Yuki, who is a loner and prefers writing in a diary on his cell phone, and his only companion is his imaginary friend named Deus Ex Machina, the god of time and space. However, Yuki soon learns that Deus is real, when he is forced into participating in a battle royale with 11 other people called the Diary Game. In this game, the contestants are given special diaries that can predict the future, with each one having different advantages and disadvantages. And the contestants must try to kill each other in 90 days to become the new god of time and space. Something I really like about this anime is the different diaries' abilities, like how the main character Yuki's diary tells him what's happening around him, but not directly to him. Good psychological suspense anime. Animation 7 out of 10, action 8 out of 10, story 9 out of 10, overall 8 out of 10. Number 4, C3, Cube Cursed Curious. The story starts out when a high school student named Yachi receives a heavy black cube from his father overseas. This box actually turns out to be a girl named Fear, who tells him that she is a cursed tool. Yachi, who has experience with cursed tools, agrees to help lift her curse. My favorite things about this show are the action scenes and the other cursed tools, because they have both great advantages and disadvantages being cursed tools and all. Animation 7 out of 10, action 9 out of 10, story 8 out of 10, and overall 9 out of 10. Okay guys, getting to the top 3. Number 3, Blue Exorcist. The story revolves around the main character Rin, who along with his brother Yukio were raised by their stepfather Shiro. Soon after Yukio leaves to go to True Cross Academy, Rin learns that he is the son of Satan, the strongest of all demons. Soon after he learns this, Shiro dies trying to protect him from Satan. After that, Rin decides to draw the sword sealing his demonic powers and goes to True Cross, which turns out to be a school for exorcists, and trains to take his revenge on Satan. I really enjoyed this anime and recommend it to any action and demon hunting fan. Animation 8 out of 10, action 9 out of 10, story 9 out of 10, and overall 9 out of 10. Number 2, Koi wa Zombie Desu ka, or in English, Is This a Zombie? So the plot is that the main character Ayumu was killed by a serial killer and is resurrected to be a zombie by a necromancer named Hellscythe. Later he meets a magical girl named Haruna and accidentally takes her magic powers, now has to help fight demons known as Megalos, while trying to figure out the mystery of his own death. I put this anime this high on my list because it is a perfect example of a mix between action, drama, and comedy. Highly recommended. Animation 8 out of 10, action 9 out of 10, story 9.5 out of 10, and overall 9 out of 10. Okay guys, we're ready to find out what anime came out this year that I think deserves the title of Best Anime of 2011. Are you ready? Number 1. Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica. The story takes place when a schoolgirl named Madoka and her friend Sayaka are approached by a strange creature named Kyubi, who offers them to grant them a wish in return for making each of them a magical girl to fight evil creatures called witches. Meanwhile, another magical girl named Homura tries to prevent Madoka from making such a deal. The plot seems innocent enough, but about by the 3rd episode, it starts to make a turn for the dark side, where they have to deal with stuff like death, isolation, loss of humanity, and regret over the value of their wish. The reason I put this at number 1 is because the way they give you the details of the story. I never felt like they were just throwing me details of the story at me to just progress the plot. Each plot point comes up for a specific reason, and the cliffhangers of each episode got me addicted to find out what happens next. Also, the art style of the show just helped push the mood. Like, they have to go to special worlds to fight witches, and in these worlds, the artwork is really trippy and distorted. Anyway, highly recommended to any anime, fantasy, or drama fan at all. Animation 9.5 out of 10, action 9 out of 10, story 9.5 out of 10, and overall 9.5 out of 10. Anyway, I hope that you have all enjoyed this list. If you have a different list or an anime you think should have been on this list but wasn't, tell me in the comments. But anyway, 2011 was a great year in anime. 2012 seems like it'll be even greater with another season of Koi wa Zombie Desu ka, more Future Diary, and a prequel of the anime Bakemonogatari, and more. Anyway, I hope you have all enjoyed this list, and see you all later.